SNL, Landry Locker, Cody, Stoots, 10 things in the bye week about this Texans team. A Texans 10-pack for you. Landry, let's start with an offensive lineman that I'm a little worried about. I don't know that I'm totally buying Juice Scruggs at left guard just yet. He was disappointing at center. They moved him to left guard. Nick Caserio made it sound like it was some sort of generous offer by Juice Scruggs to move over there. They kind of had to make the move there because they didn't have any other options at left guard, but it's been okay. The O-line's pass blocked better. They've had some run blocking success, but I'm still a little worried about that left guard spot, even though Juice Scruggs is manning it.
Yeah, I think what Juice Scruggs has kind of played like early on in his career. It's very early. It's a limited sample size, but he's played like a guy that's a quality-ish reserve offensive lineman, like what you would expect from a guy that has versatility, that can fill in at guard or fill in at center. He hasn't really, like, at either position, he hasn't really played like a quality starter on a consistent basis. So that's just kind of how I look at the Juice Scruggs thing. I don't see like a massive improvement from guard to center, like Caserio said, but he's kind of been like a guy who's shown that he can be a decent reserve. He just hasn't played like a quality starter consistently.
A lot of draft nicks thought the Texans overdrafted him when he went in the second round. It was more of a late third, fourth round guy, according to a lot of draft pick people. Number 2, Landry, the biggest concern for this team, it was on display prior to the bye.
Yes, it was. The number 2 biggest thing on display prior to the bye was the scheduling. You saw the schedule, and this was one of my main concerns heading into the season. Was last year you had all noon games up till Saturday, and up till the final Saturday of the season, and then you had the primetime game flexed on Saturday, and then you went to the playoff schedule. So it was easy to get the routine. I asked Gary Kubiak about this. He said it was a little bit difficult when I had him on the stream. Asked D'Amico about it. He kind of tried to minimize it, but now that it's over, like, you hear the guys talking about it and they're being a lot more open to it. So I think that was a concern. And the good news is you made it out of that 2 games up in the division, and you made it out of that with controlling your own fate. So assuming that it was difficult, despite the attempts to minimize it early on, that could actually be a good thing. But we did see it on display. I think they ran out of steam starting from that Thursday onto that Sunday, where they kind of ran out of gas in the second half. And then to the Monday night game, they beat the Cowboys, but then there was kind of a lag after that with Tennessee. So I think we kind of saw it a little bit.
Normal for a week out of the bye week, then they get weird with a Saturday-Wednesday split with the Kansas City Chiefs on Saturday on the road and Baltimore at NRG Stadium on Christmas. So let's see if that affects them. A little mini bye after Baltimore to get ready for Tennessee, which hopefully will not matter to this team. Number 3, Landry, any worry for you about Kamari Lassiter playing a lot of football? He basically never leaves the field, and college seasons aren't as lengthy or as tiring as this NFL season has been. Think about some of the games that Georgia played when Kamari Lassiter was there. He was kicking his feet up, pads off by the late third, early fourth quarter in some of those. And now you're talking about a very long schedule. The Jaguars went at him a couple of times. That's not a super talented crew that was going at him in that matchup. Any worry on Kamari Lassiter here down the stretch?
No, I think he's going to be challenged, and I think there's going to be times where he struggles. That's all rookie cornerbacks. It happens to the best rookie cornerbacks, and quite frankly, when you have a guy playing at an all-pro caliber level like Derek Stingley is, you're going to be the one that they challenge. So I'm not worried about him. I think he's going to be up for the challenge, but are you expecting him to just have guys on lock? No, I'm not. He's going to be challenged. Also think the bye week benefits him a lot, but there's no doubt this guy's going to be ready to go anytime they go out there. The struggles are going to be on display. It's part of the gig. But I'm not worried about Kamari Lassiter being ready to go. I think he's gonna hold up nicely. I think he's gonna be solid. I think he's gonna end up being a damn good cornerback.
Yeah, if there was any body wear or tear for Kamari Lassiter, a bye week late in the season, perfect time to get right and get ready for a tough Miami challenge out of the bye week. Number 4, Landry, I know you're not a big fan of the depth at the skill positions for this team.
I think 2 down, and I'm excluding the RB1, the WR1, and really we can even exclude the TE1, or you can include the TE1. But I think 2 down, wide receiver 2 down, and running back 2 down. I think it's as bad as it's been in a long, long time. Like if you just look at the overall depth and how you feel about it, and I think that's one of the problems. The offensive line is an easy target. I think the offensive line is an appropriate target. But if you look at what Tank Dell has done this season, despite the fact guys have missed time. If you look at John Mechie, just kind of, hit or miss. There's a flash here or there. Hutchinson hasn't even been able to stay on the field. He wasn't getting open before. It's Stephon Diggs still has more catches than Tank Dell. I know that's my stat that I'm harping on. He still has 4 more catches than Tank Dell. And that's just crazy when you think about what we were saying about Tank Dell. And as far as the running back position, Dameon Pierce was unplayable last year. I know Joe Mixon's doing his thing. We had the one run early in the season against the Patriots from Dameon Pierce. Outside of that, he's been a kick returner and a guy who you really can't get on the field. And Dare Ogunbowale, he's there. He saw it. He knows how to do everything. But the skill position talent is something we talk about. The offensive line, the skill position talent is as bad as it's been past wide receiver 1 and RB1.
They went from one of the deeper wide receiver rooms in football and training camp to a very shallow wide receiver room right now. And of course, you and I have both been extremely critical of running back 2 on the depth chart. With all that concern about the offensive depth, it did feel like there was a chance for a bounce back from Bobby Slowick. Number 5, he might have unlocked the bounce back formula right before the bye week. It was simplicity. D'Amico Ryan said that they pared down some of the game plan. It felt like they went back to some of their bread and butter stuff. They threw the ball a lot on first down to Nico Collins. I know a lot of us had been annoyed and concerned that they were just going to run the football nonstop on first down for large portions of this season. But ultimately, a good change, a small change, but it felt closer at times to some of 2023 moments with Nico Collins winning over the middle, winning on early downs. Joe Mixon got going. Maybe simplicity was the answer to the question of how can Bobby Slowick get this thing going?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't have anything really to add to that. I don't know. I don't trust Bobby Slowick anymore, any less than I did heading into Jacksonville. And quite frankly, I was ready to move on before that. So maybe the bye helps Bobby Slowick. There's a lot of things. He has limited weapons. Sometimes it feels like he's bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. But I didn't see anything before the bye week to make me feel any better or worse about Bobby Slowick.
Well, concerns about the offense, but item number 6 here, not too many concerns about this defense, which could be really impressive.
Yeah, I think this defense has potential to be elite. And I thought it was going to be really good. I think this defense has potential to be elite. I think this defense actually has potential to be extremely special. The job that D'Amico Ryans has done, no matter who is there or who isn't there, and they seem to be getting healthy at the right time. This defense is really, really good. It's solid, and it's not like you're dealing. Like if this defense can play at an elite level, we've seen defenses late in the season. Granted, we're probably exiting eras, but when you look at some of the really good teams that have made runs with good defenses, they've done it with offense without quarterbacks like CJ Stroud. I guess I'm not going to go Baltimore or Tampa Bay or anything like that, but I mean, you even look at the Jets. The Jets went to 2 straight AFC championship games, and they did so with Mark Sanchez, and they did so with a nasty ass defense. And I think of all the hope, it might feel hopeless on offense. Your ceiling might be limited, and you might have some problems that can maybe be improved, but not necessarily altogether fixed till the offseason. On defense, though, I think this defense could end up just playing at a lights out level to the point where I think that's what you hang your hope on when you talk about reaching the area they've never been before, which is the conference championship game.
Definitely thought they'd be better on defense this year. Don't know that I expected them to potentially be this good, but they're going to be very, very good down the stretch and an essential piece to winning for this team. Part of that defense that's been so good is Azeez Al-Shaair. He's not going to play the next 3 games for the Texans. Item number 7, they're equipped to handle his absence for the 3 weeks that he's gone. 3 tough opponents to have him miss, but with Neville Hewitt playing as well as he has this year, filling in for Azeez Al-Shaair, Henry To'oTo'o is playing better than he was at the end of last year as well. And then the addition of Devin White, middle of the season, they thrust him on the field right away. He got playing time right away, and he's been a solid contributor as well at that linebacker spot. This isn't like running back where it would drop off a cliff if you didn't have Joe Mixon, wide receiver where it would drop off a cliff if you didn't have Nico Collins. They are equipped to handle Azeez Al-Shaair's absence for the next 3 weeks.
And we've seen him do it. I mean, the reality is we've seen him do it. It's not even a hypothetical. We've seen them function.
They handled Azeez and Henry both being gone.
Exactly. And so we've seen it. And that goes back to the defense and how they're not reliant on just one player. It's a whole philosophy that D'Amico Ryans has. Offense, another story. With the defense, yeah, they've done that.
We talked about the schedule earlier on, but it comes up that the bye week is here late in the year. This break very much needed as item number 8, Landry.
Yes, the bye week is huge. How huge is it? Is it going? Are they going to look a lot better post bye week? I think it's here. I think everything is kind of catching up to these guys. I think CJ Stroud, I don't expect him being as busy next offseason. I'm not saying that was a problem. I'm just saying it all kind of creeps up. Like we're hearing him bring up the Hall of Fame game and everything like that. So the bye week is here. They made it to the bye week, and it's a much needed bye. They needed to get out of that. And there's no guarantees how good they're going to be, but they needed this bye in a big way. Big way.
Like a road trip where you finally find the gas station after you've been on E for an uncomfortable amount of time. You get there.
Give me those chili cheese Fritos, please.
Yeah. Number 9 on this one, something that they need to think about in the bye week while they deal with some of those injuries is, hey, this pass rush that's really good, that coverage can unravel it pretty quick. We saw it a little bit with Jacksonville. Now, the Jaguars were getting the ball out of Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence's hands pretty quick, but even on some of the longer dropbacks, just 3 quarterback hits in that game. If the coverage isn't good, that pass rush goes away, and vice versa. This pass rush has got to be excellent here down the stretch, because without Jalen Petrie, Jimmy Ward moves down. Eric Murray's on the field a lot more at the safety spot. Teams will find him. Teams will find the linebackers in this passing game, and it's going to have to be a very much in-sync defense to handle while some of these injuries take place and while they wait for Jalen Petrie to get back.
Yeah, 100%. They've had flaws in the secondary that they've been able to kind of mask. That's going to be more and more difficult as the season goes on. That's something to really keep an eye on. You can overcome it with good pass rush. You can overcome it with good corner play, but that is something, especially if we're talking intermediately and we're talking about up the seam and all that. That's something to really keep an eye on. The safety coverage, rough.
Finally, Landry, the bye week allows you to kind of ponder on some of the larger NFL things. Kansas City Chiefs, they don't feel invincible to you this year.
They don't. Matter of fact, I'm almost gonna pick the Texans to beat the Chiefs in 2 weeks. That's kind of my hot take right now. I think that I'm not gonna do that though yet. But I think with Kansas City, yeah, I'll do it. I think they're going to give the Kansas City Chiefs all they can handle. I don't think the Chiefs are a team that can blow a team out. And I feel like this team is due for a signature win. I think the Chiefs are a very beatable squad. And I think the way the Texans play defense is such to where if we're looking for that big moment, I think the Kansas City game is a game that I'm keeping my eyes on extremely close. So you can mark this. It might end up looking silly, but I think Kansas City is a beatable squad. Now, Buffalo, no chance. I don't think you can go to Buffalo and win. Zero chance. Wouldn't pick them. But I think Kansas City, I think this is a very beatable squad. I think this is a team that is going to be healthy. I think Kansas City is a game to watch. And then after that, you can probably ice up and not worry about the Baltimore game and forget about those three games in 10 days.
Struggles at the tackle spot certainly mean that Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson could have a big day, but that means Chris Jones goes against the Texans' interior offensive line. He'd have a big day there, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He's kind of only playing when he wants to play now. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. He's playing pretty good.
I would think that Saturday would probably be one of the ones he'd want to play.
Probably would. And hey, maybe I'm tripping on this, but I'm just starting to think that the Kansas City game might be the game where they really get up.
10 things on our mind during the bye week. Subscribe to the channel here, SNL. We got so much SNL coverage for you on both Landry's channel, The Locker Room, on both my channel, the Cody Stoots channel, and of course right here on SNL. So much stuff coming your way. We got you covered on everything, any little angle. It's right here on YouTube with The Locker Room and Landry Locker, myself, Cody Stoots, of course, SNL Texans Talk. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you watching. Hit them with the signature, Landry.
Appreciate y'all for coming through. Always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together.
Eat good, sleep good, be good. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.